Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a point of personal privilege. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, like many of you, I had the opportunity to go home last weekend, and I think like many of you, I found it was really great to be back on familiar territory. Now, I did speak to a number of people who, as they were talking to me about issues, it became clear that they weren't real clear about exactly what it is we do down here. Partly, I suspect, that's because we haven't always in our schools done the best job of teaching about the separation of powers. I did have to assure people that I personally would not be voting for any war effort in Iran, for example. And of course, it could partly be because when the Washington Post is your hometown newspaper, serving in the General Assembly of Virginia is sort of like joining the Witness Protection Program. But mostly, I would have to say that people talk to me about real issues. They talk to me about their worries about the cost of health care. They talked about their nervousness about whether they could afford college tuition for their kids and if there would be space on our college campuses for their kids even to get in. In Northern Virginia, they're worried about real estate taxes that keep rising even when the property values seem to be going down. They're worried about congestion on their roads. Now, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, we have an enormous privilege and opportunity over the next 55 days because during that time, we really can take action on all of those issues. Or not. We can spend our time over the next 55 days focusing on the things that really matter to Virginians. And I'll tell you that as I'm looking at legislation, there are really good bills filed by people on both sides of the aisle on a lot of those issues. Or we can end up getting all wrapped around the axle on stuff that really doesn't matter in the lives of Virginians. We can focus on the issues that divide us instead of confronting the problems that face us. So, on behalf of the House Democrats, our plea is, let's spend the next 55 days on things that really matter. Let's work for real solutions for Virginians. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.